So thank you, everyone. We're going to call this meeting to order right at 7 o'clock. I call on Justin to read the land acknowledgement.
The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Haudenosaunee, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississauga of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The city of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the land on which we live.
Thank you, Justin. We're going to move to number 3. Are there any declarations of interest? None online, none in-house. We're going to, can I get a mover and seconder to adopt the agenda? We'll move on to number 4. Joe, second Kieran. I call into question all those in favor. Any opposed? Robert, is that opposed? Could be. Thank you, that passes.
Sorry if I can interrupt, Chair. If anyone online, if you can just mute your microphone until you're talking, we're getting a vibration or a sound in the chamber. Thanks.
Thank you. We're going to adopt of the minutes, so we're going to Article 5, which can I get a mover and seconder for that adoption of that minutes? Sentence. Is there a seconder for that one? Rich? I call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That passes. Correspondence. I have 6.1, Battle of Beaver Dams Park Special Event Shipping Container Project. At their meeting on November 18th, 2025, cancel past report CS 67-225 regarding the Battle of Beaver Dams Park Special Event Shipping Container Project. The next one is 6. Do you have any comments on that one before I move on? I think they're just letting us know. Nope. We're going to move on to 6.2, Council Committee Board and Policies. At their meeting on November 18th, 2025, Council passed report CLK 15-2025 regarding Council Committees and Board Policies. Does anyone want to speak on this or have any questions before we move on? Yes, Kieran?
We're discussing this in our roundtable as well.
Yes, we can definitely discuss that roundtable also.
Is it not? It's one of our. It's not just correspondence. It's also part of the agenda, right?
So through the chair, these are items that either we discussed or we discussed this board policy, I think in October, and then council passed it. It's just FYI that it passed. But if you have questions for it now, you can bring them up now for sure.
I'll wait till we have it's on the discussion there.
Thank you, Kieran. Any other questions? Okay, Jeff?
Yeah, it would be helpful to know, to be reminded what the substance of it is. Can anybody just briefly summarize the policy?
Yeah, through the chair, if you like, I can.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
I was going to.
So yeah, through the chair, it was basically minor updates. We took 2 old policies that we had and put them into one, and then put some minor updates to them. I can send it out again for everyone in Rhind. It's also on our website under our committee page as well.
Through you, Madam Chair, to Justin, again, you haven't told us anything about the substance of the policy. All you've said is it's an old policy that we've tweaked or something. Can you tell us what the policy is, please?
Sure. Through the chair, it's about forming committees, how they're formed, how members are appointed to them, how councillors are put on them, the roles of different committee members, what community liaison groups are, what agency boards and commissions are. It's basically how a board forms and how members are appointed to it and guiding council for that.
Jeff, is that okay for you?
Thank you. Yeah, sounds extremely fundamental, so thank you for clarifying that. Yep.
If no other comments or questions, we'll move on to the next one, 6.3. Christmas lights at Beaver Dams Park motion. At their meeting on December 9th, 2025, council passed a motion regarding Christmas lighting at Beaver Dams Park. Does anyone have any questions or want to comment on this one? Yes, Mr. Council Dedivitis?
Oh, thank you. I just want to see how nice it's going to be if we get this going, because we can start the Christmas lights at the Ormond Street entrance where the playground is, follow it all the way down the pathway and come out on Sullivan. So when people coming down and come to Thorold off Pine Street, the first thing they'll see when they turn is nice Christmas lights lit up. It'll tie in the BIA and the downtown working together. And it's going to draw a lot of traffic to our downtown. And I hope by having Christmas lights up there, we can encourage people to walk in the park, take the kids out there, have a hot chocolate, do more events in the park and utilize it more year round than just for 4 months. I think with the Christmas lights in there, it's going to help out to get a couple of months out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'm going to move on to 6.4, Rail Trail Connection Study Completion. On January 12th, 2026, the Rail Trail Connection from Mallrats Road to Canal Trail project completed its Schedule B Municipal Class Environmental Assessment, the MCEA, for an active transportation connection between the existing rail trail and the Welland Canal Trail in the city of Thorold. Would anyone like to speak on this, or does anyone have any questions about 6.4? Joe, you have the floor.
I'm glad to see that it's finally progressing. It's not the route that I would have picked if I'd been in charge of that, but I would have rather gone through the Lake Gibson corridor instead of beside it. But as I say, I'm glad that it is progressing.
Thank you, Joe. Anyone else? Seeing no hands raised, nobody in here, we're going to move on to Article 7, which is community business, which is 7.1, Battle of Beaver Dams Park Splash Pad. Ogo, can you provide an update for us, please?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Ugo Obiako. I'm with the engineering department working for City of Thorold. Today, I'll be briefing on the project we have on the line, that's Battle of Beaver Dam Splash Pad. So, Justin, if you don't mind, I can share my screen. Just,
Yes, you can.
okay, thank you. So basically, I have only 6 slides, not too many slides. But today I will just give you an overview of what we're planning on doing and the timing when we have it scheduled for completion. So following council approval for this project, we are still in the initiation phase of this project. So we're working to scope the requirements and the features that will be installed as part of that splash pad at Battle of Beaver Dams Park. I will so we have scheduled a public information center for March 6th at City of Thorold City Hall. The purpose is to gather feedback from residents and consider that in part of our final design that will be installing at the park. So here, this page is showing the requirements of what we are going to be putting there. So basically, our first step is to engage with all relevant stakeholders, Parks and Rec being number 1, and the other city residents as number 2. Then we welcome all feedback at the end of the PIC on March 6th and at the end of this meeting. So. Here is just the map showing the location where we intend installing the splash pad. So it's just gonna be beside the existing playground that is already installed. We are trying to work on the layout, so which will be finalized after the March 6th Public Information Center and this meeting. So we consider everything and proceed towards designing the actual layout of the splash pad at Battle of Beaver Dance Park. So this again follows the City of Toronto's Parks and Recs completed master plan in 2020. The purpose is to provide minimum parking features for use by residents. So we've been trying to scope different features that will be that will align with what has been existing at the Battle of Beaver Dance Park. So welcome any feedback from this meeting and the meeting coming on March 6th, which will help us design this splash pad to the satisfaction and the requirements of the Toronto residents. But the next phase will be, this is just the page showing what we intend doing. So if you look at these bullet points, you can see what we're thinking, which is not going to be final, but welcome if any feedback from this meeting today. So we're thinking about putting a splash pad within both team design that incorporates large dumping buckets and other engaging features. It's a combination of elevated features and in-ground features that will make it more engaging for any park users. We also plan on installing a little bit of walkway, 1.5 meter width of the walkway around the perimeter of the proposed splash pad. Benches will be there and additional tree plantings will be done as part of this work. So in terms of evaluation, so we'll be evaluating all comments by using this criteria. So these 5 criteria. So each of these 5 criteria has a weighting that we'll be using to do the calculations and come up with the preferred options or requirements for the park. And the last page will be the next step. So following this meeting and March 6th meeting, we'll review all feedback received at the PIC and at this meeting, finalize our design and proceed towards the procurement phase and tendering. So the goal is to see if we can complete this project by July 1st, 2026. So we're on the clock to making that happen. For contact, so I'm working with Jenny, myself, and Dave Bardoni, Manager of Community Services. Thank you, and that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you very much. Mike, I see your hands up. Would you like to start us off?
Sure. I just want to say I'm very excited to see this happening. When I first joined council, I've been across the street for like 35 years. The park's been never, ever been used. Very rarely. We spent millions of dollars in that park. And one of my things I campaigned on, I want to see that park being used. So we started with zero on community market. And at the beginning, I think Councilor Hare helped me. We were flipping burgers, and Marcia, you were there. And we built something out of nothing, like a business format. And now we did thousands of people in that park every summer. And there's potential of growing even more. I'm so excited to see that park being used. And that with the splash pad being added there, it's going to even get more attention to that park. We can use it for a Canada Day and the market, so it's going to tie in good. And that's one of the parks in Thorold where it gets utilized into October. I see people around that park. Not that they're going to be on the splash pad, But this park is a crown jewel for the city of Thorold. It's adjacent with our downtown. It's underutilized. We got to use it more. There's so much potential. I have a million ideas we can do in that park. It can be used so much more, and I'm glad that we're taking one more foot forward to be using it more. But like I said, 4 years ago, there was nobody in that park. And whether you like the community market or not, we're partnered with the BIA, with the car show. It's growing. Some nights we get 1,500 people, 2,000 people. We're going to have the best community market car show in Niagara. And I promise you that. And I'm glad to see this going forward.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone else wish to speak on this? Kieran, your hand was
Yeah,
up.
through you, Marcia, to City. Do we have the proposed designs options that we're going to be showing at the PIC on Friday? Can we see them?
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. We didn't have, okay. Sorry, thank you, through you, Madam Chair. We do have a couple of designs. We're still waiting for a couple more to come in from some proponents that may likely be tendering the project. So at this time, we're not prepared to share them, but you're more than welcome to come out and see them Friday, March the 6th at City Hall, anywhere between 5 and 7 p.m. So,
Okay, it's just we're asked to comment on them, but we don't have them in front of us, so it's we see what they might entail, but we can't see them on a piece of paper. So it's just hard to envision exactly what's going to be happening, and it's kind of hard to provide feedback if we don't have it in front of us. That's all.
Yeah, oh, sorry. John or Rich, oh, Joe, you had your hand up?
Excuse me. Just wonder, is it running all the PIC running all day on Friday, or do you have specific times?
Through you, Madam Chair, the PIC is running from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
5 till 7. Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Sentence?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Through you, I just want to, same thing, this is very exciting. It's going to complete this park very well. If I could put you on the spot for a second, Dave, can I ask you about the accessible swing? Where are we with it?
Thank you again, through you, Madam Chair, to Councillor Sentence. So I've been back and forth with the provider. They're a Montreal company. They don't follow our CSA standards. So I've been back and forth arguing with them. They've agreed to provide us with a whole new to and fro swing, exact same model as we had that will in the spring will remount to that the arms or the structure that is on site at the park currently.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, Peter?
Yeah, thanks. Through you, Chair, and not to just from a total coverage point of view, because I'm also excited about the project, but I'd like to have some more information if I could. So maybe through the staff that's here, and I want to pick up on that point that Councillor Sentence just made. That's accessibility. Is that what that was?
The swing, yeah.
Okay. So you got perfect. I know that there was the city had a master plan on this, but was there any updates to assess the demand for this in terms of where it's going? Like, do we have an idea? Only because the pool is only down the road, right? Like, we have a city pool just down the road a little bit, and I'm just wondering, how did you assess the demand for the splash pad?
I think we lost Dave. Oh, no, Dave does have his hand up.
Hi, thank you, through you, Madam Chair. So this was, I think this was an initiative brought forth by council. Council was very strong in programming this park. They were the backbone to helping achieve this installation at Battle of Beaver Dams Park.
Yes, Councillor Sentence?
Thank you, if you don't mind. Sure. Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. We kind of, as a council, said we need more splash pads. When we build these places, new subdivisions and we have all these things and many people coming to the parks now, we make them wait 10 years for a park or for a splash pad. So we tried to speed up and beef up the Merritt Meadows is getting one, and there's other ones on slate. So that was my rationale. I don't know, but I think that was council's rationale as well.
So thanks for that. So it was more of a just kind of through the community and a feeling and kind of what you saw was going on. Okay. I think the accessibility feature, and again, I'll just ask staff to make sure that that's like entry and exit and people using it, it has to be accessible. And I think that's really important nowadays because some of the old ones maybe are a little harder to get in and out of. So we have a great opportunity here to really to do that if we're going to do this. And I think it's a big deal to make sure that that is in play. So I just want to make sure that if I'm even not at the PIC meeting on Friday, I just think hopefully staff can bring that up. Not only barrier free, but, and I'm sure that you're going to do the designs, you know, anti-slip and all that stuff. Just a question around the washrooms. Are the existing washrooms that are at the park going to be able to facilitate change rooms or anything that people need?
Through you, Madam Chair, to the staff here. Yes, they should be able to accommodate what we need. They've been fully accessible. We have accessible stalls. All our splash pads are currently accessible. We're working to upgrade as we progress current parks to meet AODA compliance as we replace them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Councilor Dedivatis, you have your hand up?
Oh, yes, I was just going to comment how I came to my decision, my vote on this to have a splash pad here is because Canada Day, there's thousands of people there. Community market, every Wednesday, there's sometimes 1,000 people there. There's lots of families, lots of kids. And we thought it could be really utilized more and add to the park's appeal. And it helps the downtown, get people near the downtown, helps the BIA. The more things we can put in that park as a council, we thought it'd be better to improve it as much as we can. Because like I said before, it's adjacent to the downtown. It's a park that's even in October, there's people in that park every single day. There's a ton of traffic going in that park. And I think with all the housing around there, it's really going to be used even more.
Before we move on, is there any other questions or comments? Peter, you have one last one?
Yeah, just maybe just one last one, and through you, Chair, thanks. And through the city staff, and Dave, to you and your staff there, is the intent of this to get it fully functional, up and running right away, or is there an opportunity to really gauge the demand of the park and do it kind of in stages? And before we add everything type of idea to it, is there been any thought given to it? Like, I was there a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you, I saw the city fire truck there, had the big hose out, and the tower was out, and there was a few kids that loved it, and I know that it was fun, and I guess the only thing I worry about, guys, is vandalism. So will we be in that thing? Like, number one, can we build it in stages, and does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't. But two, are you going to monitor the park for vandals and vandalism? And there's that section sometimes can you start to put more of these things out there, and all of a sudden you get kids hanging out there and doing things. And so I'm just wondering if there's any of that going to happen.
Thank you, Peter, through you, Madam Chair. It's unfortunate we have to go through some vandalism. This will be a program space, so it'll be active from a set time in the morning to a set time in the evening. Will we patrol it? As long as staff is on shift, we have shift work till midnight through the summer. Again, I can't predict whether vandalism is going to happen. I would love to say and promise the group here that no, I'm anticipating no vandalism, but likely that's not the case. Unfortunately, we're looking to engage some community members maybe and help them form, a watch sort of community and report any vandalism or anything that might affect the beautiful spaces that councilors and you all provide to the taxpayers.
Okay. Seeing that, we're going to move on to the next one. If anyone has any other questions. Oh, Kieran, you do. I do apologize.
Sorry, it through you to city staff. It did say there it was like budget restricted on one of the slides. Just what is the budget, and do you have sort of a budget assigned to each one of the options? Like one's a certain price, one's a certain price, and would that be available at the PIC on Friday?
Thank you, through Madam Chair. Yeah, so we have an established budget, and that's where we're not ready to present a final draft or final photos. We're working through, just because budget was passed sort of mid-February, it was sort of a push to get this project moving forward. So we've reached out to a lot of our suppliers and a lot of our vendors to provide us with those costing associated with above ground features, in ground features, dumping buckets, boat themed options for, to honor the history of the old canal that ran through Battle of Beaver Dams Park. So yes, to answer your question, Kieran, we have a budget. I can't recall the slide actually. I think it was tree shade structures, maybe that would be the topic for budget. And don't quote me. I'm not sure if Ugo can share that screen again. Okay, so I think through you, Madam Chair, Mr. Daniels was referencing the note that all these items are budget permitting. I think that's referencing the ornamental planting. We will provide the picnic tables, obviously, additional tree planting. So there's some items that, depending on the number of features that are installed in the park, will dictate through budget.
Okay. So would that information be available on Friday at the PIC? Like each option has a certain cost?
Through you, Madam Chair, we're hoping to be able to share that. If we have all the information provided to us, we'll be able to share that at the PIC.
Okay, thanks.
Is that everything for everyone? Okay. So we are going to be moving on to 7.2, community structure. Justin, can you get an update on this one for us, please?
Yes, through the chair. So anticipation of the next term of council, we've been reviewing, staff have been reviewing the different committees and boards that we currently have and looking at any possible changes that may need to be made. One thought that we've been looking at was possibly combining the Environment, Climate Change and Biodiversity Advisory Committee with this committee. Some reasons we were looking at it is because we've been seeing a lot of items that have been applied, could be applied to both committees. We've been seeing a lot of staff projects that have been going to both committees to get comments on, especially this past year in 2025 of finding a lot of cross items that have been coming up. So we were looking at maybe possibly putting them together to kind of streamline things, to have that together. As of right now, we're looking at if this happens and the new council would have to approve it, we're looking at, meeting once a month, similar size committee to this committee, meetings during the day, hybrid meetings. Those are some of the thoughts right now. We're just looking to see if anyone has any thoughts on it right now.
I'm going to see if anyone has a hand. Joe, would you like to make a comment?
In principle, I think it's a nice idea, which is one of the reasons that I'm on both committees, because there is an awful lot of overlap. Now, having said, and I'm not putting this forward as a motion, I would suggest that both chairs and someone who happens to be advice on both, have an informal meeting and discuss it, and potentially bring it back to respective committees. I know it's not designed until, or not going through till next, after the election. However, just suggestions, I'm not saying recommendations, suggestions may be listened to. One thing that members of this committee may or may not like, and the converse would be true with the other committee. The Environmental Committee does meet generally on Fridays, and it's exclusively Zoom, and it's held during the morning. Now, some of the people on this committee may not be thrilled with something like that.
Is that because it's
I do
made of
know that some of the members of the other committee would not be thrilled with coming in here necessarily for a Monday night. So that's something where discussion might be warranted.
No problem. Justin, am I permitted to meet with the other chair? Is that permitted? Fine? Okay. Then definitely, Joe, could you
Happy to
arrange
have
it
a
since you're
copy
the
at same
in-between?
time.
Perfect. So if everyone's comfortable with that? Yep. Joe, or Peter, you want to go first?
Yeah, so through you, Chair, and certainly an interesting proposal, and I would love to hear more. It's hard to give any kind of real feedback on it in terms of not knowing. I'll be honest, I have no idea what the Environment, Climate Change, and Biodiversity Committee does. So that is a big, like, for me to make any kind of comment on this is really premature, inappropriate, and probably unusable because I don't know what they do. In terms of overall, in general, I would say anything that you take away, I think you want to be careful. So, like, when I look at this committee, the average age is 50 plus. I'm not saying that any of you are old. I'm just saying that the average age, and the more options we eliminate, the less people you get to participate in this community. And I think we have to be cognizant and careful of that. And so having Friday morning meetings, quite frankly, sucks. Because if you're a young person, how do you come to that potentially? If you're a young person at university or at school, or how do you come to that? So I think we need to have a much broader perspective on these kind of things. And if we're going to sit there and eliminate committees because staff doesn't want to push carbon copy on a report, I guess I think we need to sort of pause and push the brakes, because number one, like I say, until there's a full understanding of what every committee does, and if there's a lot of duplication, I'm all for efficiency. We can do that. But I think limiting people's chance to participate is not the direction that I would like to see us go.
Kieran had his hand up, and then I will get to David in just a moment. Kieran?
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what Peter said there too. Like, I'm one of the under 50 plus people on the committee, and I say average, but I joined this committee because I truly am involved with the parks, trails, and rec. That's what I came for. Now, if I'm sitting in a biodiversity, environment, and climate change meeting, I'm not going to be able to add the context to that meeting that's required. And likewise, the people that are from that committee aren't going to really add the context that's required for this committee. And then we're going to limit the amount of people that have their voices here. I, for myself, a Friday morning, I won't be here. So you're kind of eliminating voices, just as Peter said, for not hitting a carbon copy. We could integrate meetings when needed, but anything that has to do with environment, climate change, biodiversity, all that information is captured when city staff does environmental assessments. When they do planning of projects, all of that is taken into consideration. So for us to spend half of our meeting debating on environment and climate change instead of what we're here for parks and trails and rec facility, I'm not saying we're not wasting anyone's time because we're all getting educated at the same time. But again, we're eliminating important parts of we're volunteers, right? And all of a sudden you're going to have less volunteers because it's not going to really appease to them anymore. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Thank you, Kieran. David, you're next.
Thank you. So I'm 50 exactly. So I'm neither old nor young, neither fish nor fowl, or it's a delusion of grandeur and I'm just old and don't want to be one of those. But to take several points that were made and just put a vague spin on them, if I may. And from the perspective of someone who's worked for 5 municipalities as a day job at a neighbor, a parks, trails, like this will, without having been to the Thorold's other committees, this is highly likely to be the youngest. This one will skew younger and it will attract people like Kieran who have kids in sports, who are part of community groups, etc. And for those, you really need evening meetings. I can tell you that Pelham has an environment and climate committee, and it is solely populated by retired persons, and it was meeting in the day. So those are 2 hard ones to bridge. If you were to bridge it, I think by necessity, you'd have to make it an evening meeting. That maybe you change the day of the week as a compromise to the environment types. I've actually seen that done, and it is effective because, to the staff point, there is a lot of crossover in the topics that will be discussed, or I certainly believe them. I can't remember if it was Mr. Baldoni or a clerk, but whoever was that said that you bring the same report to both committees because there's enough, like you need to hear from both of them. So I can certainly see why you might want to marry them, but given that this consistently elsewhere in the province is the committee that is likely to be the youngest, that means day jobs, or at least it allows you the opportunity to attract people with day jobs and children. And if you're talking about parks, parents are like really good people to have on committees. Just saying, not just grandparents, but like parents. So were you to proceed with that, I mean, I could get behind that, but I really think you want to keep that as an evening meeting. And if you can't find a logistics way to go, so be it. But I don't think that you'd want the concession or the saw-off to be daytime meetings for a parks committee. I think you'd want to keep that one in the evening, if I may be so bold. At any rate, I'll do my, and sorry, as someone who is participating remotely, it would be a real shame to lose the hybrid option. You have the technology at this point, it costs $0, and it allows you to go on vacation and still Zoom back in, or to be off on a conference or for work or whatever that is. It just allows more flexibility. So I think it would be tragic to let this go, even if you want to encourage physical attendance, which I think is fair. I'd hate to see it not be hybrid anymore. That would probably make me not ineligible or unwilling to put my name forward again, whatever that's worth. Thank you for the time.
Yep. Thank you, David. Justin, you had your hand up?
Yeah, through the clerk, just to be clear, it would definitely still be hybrid meeting. It wouldn't be eliminating any virtual option.
Okay, so seeing no other comment, just I think we have to revisit this. Oh, Joe, you do have another comment?
Valid comments all around, but this is one of the reasons that I think there should be a two-way meeting between the two committees. There actually is a lot of overlap and sometimes even contrary opinions. Every time anything comes up for a park on this committee, want more stuff. Okay, every time it comes up in the environmental committee, give up stuff and would prefer to have a water permeable parking lot if we have to have parking lots at all. See, this is that's one of the reasons that if it was totally joined, I can actually see subcommittees going in both directions. The environmental committee is always very in favor of more trees, more green, more parks. Doesn't really affect this committee directly, but one of the main initiatives right now is getting a list of native plants put together, and another one is for plantings, and another one is to get the city to change their bylaws a little bit so that if people want to plant flowers on their boulevard, they can do that. Okay, not everything affects both committees. I totally agree with that. but having at least one other person sitting on both committees is not the most ridiculous idea in the world. Now, if it was one combined committee, I'm a little bit ambivalent of that myself, just because logistics involved, agreeing with what was said over there. But I don't think it's an idea to automatically dismiss until we've had a little bit of crosstalk. And that's the end of my thing. Thank you.
Yes, Kieran, you have your hand up.
Through Marcia to Justin. Justin, what's the limit on members for the Parks Committee?
I'd have to look at our terms of reference again, but I think we're 12 plus 2 counselors, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And there's nothing saying, because Joe, you're a member of both committees, there's nothing saying that you can't be a part of both committees.
No.
I'm just trying to like, back to the point of like, we're here for Parks and Trails discussion. I get it. It has to do with the environment, has to do with greenery and parks and open spaces and what we all want. But again, it just, the conversations can go sideways. And I mean, for every meeting, but maybe it's the chair from the Parks Trail goes to the Environmental Committee and vice versa. The chair from the Environmental Committee comes to the Parks Committee meetings when there's overlap. Just a thought.
Thank you, Kieran. So Justin, if we can make this, defer it till next meeting, and I'll meet with them, and we can revisit this again and have an open discussion again and see what other options there could be. If that's okay with everyone, we'll just move on from this one after doing that. And Joe, I'll let you facilitate the contact between the two of us, okay? Since you're the in-between. Okay, moving on, we're going to be moving on to 7.3, which is 2026 budget highlights. Dave, can you give us an update on this one?
Thank you through, excuse me. Thank you through, Madam Chair. Yeah, I can update the group here on some of our capital projects for 2026. Do you want me to touch on everything related to Parks, Trails, and Rec? Like, we have some outstanding items from 2025, just because the season's timed out. So for 2026, we have some Welland Canal Trail improvements, so south of ES Fox, where the asphalt is sort of chipping away. It's starting to pit and bubble. We're going to do some replacements there. Jacob had mentioned in 2025 that we have the shipping container coming. It's going to act as the bar for our community market. So that'll be coming for 2026. Battle of Beaver Dam's time capsule, as Councillor DeVitis can attest, has seen some significant deterioration. So that's going to undergo some rebuild. For Kieran Daniels, we're going to do some work at CE Gross. We have some steel doors we're going to be replacing. As we mentioned earlier in the meeting, we have the splash pad of Battle of Beaver Dams Park coming online this year. Phase 2 playground at Kottmeyer Estates will be coming online. Now, this is an interesting one. LED lighting upgrades at Port Robinson Baseball Diamond. We're working with Thorold Minor Baseball, President Thorold Minor Baseball, on a community grant for the installation purposes of this light. So we're at round 2 of the grant application process. So we've made it past the preliminary stage. We're at round 2 for to continue growth of our baseball diamonds. So fingers crossed that grant pulls through for us, and we'll be adding some lighting, LED lighting to Port Robinson Baseball Diamond. Battle of Beaver Dams, we're continuing on with the band shell. We're going to do some improvements over there. We're going to do a stage epoxy, reshingling the roof. We got fence repairs at various parks. Some of our soccer fencing and baseball fencing has been damaged just over the years from wear and tear, and so we're looking to make some repairs at various parks. Ireson Ridge Park Development, so that's also Port Robinson that's Beaver Dams Road across the street from the Municipal Operations Center. There is a park playground development going in there. It's been included in the 2026 capital budget. We've included some dollars for reforestation, various locations throughout the city. We're going to be working on a urban forest management plan for 2026, and hopefully we'll have that ready to go by the end of 2026. We're working on a Parks, Trails, Recreation, and Cultural Master Plan in 2026. So we're going to engage a consultant to help us with that and look at our future for the next 10 years. As you all know, the turf field design, the construction will be coming in 2026. We have Merritt Meadows Park, that's Port Robinson West. That's getting a splash pad as well. So a lot of things. I mean, there's some pool items that, I mean, new lifeguard chairs, lifeguard equipment, pool slide and pump. So that's the majority of the capital projects that we have slated for 2026. So it's a couple of playgrounds, 3 splash pads, improvements, hydro improvements, upgrades to Battle of Beaver Dams Park to help assist with the community market. That shipping container that's going to act as the bar. So there's a lot on the books for 2026. I just want to go through and make sure I've captured everything parks and trails related. I did miss one. Some soccer nets are coming to Hansler Heights Park. So some good things happening around, spread out through all of Thorold. Parking lot asphalt repairs, arena upgrades, building envelope inspection. So for Doherty Arena, the arena envelope inspection, and then repairs required for building envelope improvements, whatever that consultant deems is necessary to keep Frank Doherty Arena running again. Asphalt lighting security, cemetery. Yeah, so splash pad. Yeah, so a lot happening this year for the city of Thorold.
Thank you, Dave. Does anyone have any questions for Dave? Yes, I'm looking at you, Kieran.
No, I just had a quick question. You mentioned new soccer nets, but I didn't catch the field you said they were going to be installed in.
So Hansler Heights, so that's a park
Hansler Heights.
sort of close to Merritt Meadows. It's even past like Commeyer State, it's even past Port Robinson West. So it's about our borderline of Welland and Thorold. So
Okay.
there's a couple of parks out there: Merritt Meadows, Commeyer Estates, and Hansler Heights.
Yeah, I got what you're. And just one other thing, the Artisan Park across from the Public Works building, the new one, is that
Artisan
designed?
Ridge.
Was that design been finalized? I know there were PICs and it came through our committee and we had a bunch of recommendations at that point, but is the design finalized now?
Design's not finalized, so we're still gathering all that information and putting it into a final design. Again, we'll hold that PIC and invite the community's feedback and
Perfect.
probably present option A or option B and taking all that feedback, all that PIC feedback into consideration.
Yeah.
Justin, can we make sure that we revisit that one, that it gets on our agenda when it does come through, just so we can, since we're kind of part of it, it'd be nice to have some say back on it, if that makes sense?
Sure. We can certainly bring back updates to this group.
Perfect.
Anyone else have questions for Dave? I thought for sure you'd all have your hands up. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the next one, which is our roundtable. So I will start actually online this time. Jeff, do you have anything today?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. It's a comment and a question, and it pertains to the cancellation of our December, January, and February meetings due to a lack of agenda items. I'm not comfortable at all with that. For the first 2 or 3 years of this committee, procedurally, an email was sent out to the committee approximately 10 days before each meeting, asking if we had any agenda items. We, for some reason, stopped doing that. And I'd like to know why. I don't recall the committee agreeing to that, stopping that procedure where people are asked if they have any agenda items. And so it seems to me that it makes no sense for us to expect agenda items when we're not given the opportunity to provide the agenda items. So if anybody can clarify for me why we dropped that procedure, I'd welcome that. Thank you.
Do you want to speak on it, Justin, or I?
Typically, yeah, through the chair. Typically, for every committee, I just send out to the chair and vice chair and staff to gather items. There was a time where I did send it out to all the committees because we were lacking a chair at the time and vice chair, I believe, for a brief period of time. So we had no one to contact. So I decided to contact everybody for a brief period until we got a chair and vice chair. I encourage all committee members, when you do think of a topic, to either send it to the chair, vice chair, to Dave or myself anytime, and we can put it on. I know in the past, for some chairs, for some committees, will send out regular emails to committee members asking before meetings happen, but it depends. It's different for those committees based on the chairs.
And Jeff, just a point of clarification, I do get stuff from our board, and I do present it to Jeff. If Kieran sends us something, I use it in our communications, or Joe does the same thing. If we get something from anyone on our committee that thinks of something or a text, we do present it to Justin. We just have not been given anything from our board. I haven't. I think, Joe, I'm not speaking on your behalf, but I don't think you've gotten anything in the last couple of months either new.
I've had 3 or 4 things over the months that, not necessarily agenda items, but at least FYI items that I would have expressed if we'd actually had a meeting. But perhaps, and this is just a suggestion, between you and I, we send out a request to all members of the committee prior to the next meeting.
Or we could just have Justin do it and make it even easier.
Well, could do it like that.
Writing our agenda.
I would be more than happy to send it out myself if you wish, and then I'll forward it off to you. The reason being, sometimes there's a borderline, something that's sort of borderline as to whether it's an FYI or actually a legitimate thing that should be on the agenda for full discussion, which between you, I, and Justin would have to decide. But I agree with Jeff that it's we should have at least had the equivalent of a newsletter for the last 3 months, at the very least.
Anyone else, Robert? Sorry. Thought you
No,
said.
I've got nothing.
Anyone else want to comment or say how would they prefer it?
Sure. I would definitely, thank you, Madam Chair. I would definitely prefer we go back to the formal procedure we had for years. It seemed to be working quite well, where everybody is asked if they have any items for the agenda. And for the record, I did provide a suggested item for the agenda. And again, because of this ad hoc system we've got now, it wasn't never took. And to Joe's point, not every item that is proposed necessarily gets put on the agenda. That is very true. But people should be encouraged on this committee to put forth items for consideration on the agenda. And I'm not so comfortable leaving it with the clerk's department. I feel that if for anybody who's paid attention over the past few years, if left to the clerk's department, we would have, just a few meetings a year, and I find that unacceptable. Thank you.
Okay, Jeff, seeing that, I will personally send out an email to all of you. Once I get my email from Justin as my reminder, I will send out an email to you guys, and I will have a time limit on it, when to respond, and that will be my response to Justin, and I'll send it off, obviously see Joe on it all too. If that's okay with everybody, we'll go back to the old way, and I'll just send it out directly myself, and then Joe and I will see everything. Okay. I don't
Thank you,
need a
Madam
motion
Chair.
for that, do I, Justin? It's still on you, Jeff. Do you have anything else that you want to bring up for roundtable? Okay. Robert, you're next.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Jacob?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Thank you. Dave?
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. Nothing at this time. I just hope everyone can make it out to the PIC Friday evening and see the proposals for the installation at Battle Beaver Dam Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheryl, do you have anything?
No, thank you.
Councilor Dedevitis, do you have anything?
Yes, now that the weather's starting to turn, I want to see if we can encourage the community to go to the parks and do a little cleanup, take a picture of them cleaning up the parks, maybe send it to the city. We'll put it on our webpage with their name to get more community involvement in the parks. It's a good time. A lot of people don't mind doing things like that. And we're always thinking about getting people involved with the parks, and maybe we can all do a little cleanup and send the photo in. It's a good feel-good story. And Jacob, maybe you want to touch up on Earth Day. Jacob, maybe mention that. That's coming up.
Yeah, of course I could if you like. Yeah, just to let everyone know, we do have our first event that'll be provided by the City of Thorold coming up this year. It'll be Earth Day. This year it'll be held at Canada Games Park on Saturday, April 25th. So we're moving it to a new venue, kind of at council direction, but also for some improvements as well. We'll have some more floor space over there, as well as a separate room for speakers at that event. So for anyone that has attended that event in the past, we won't be competing with activities going on the floor and speakers at the same time. It's kind of causing conflict of noise and everything. So that'll be our first event of the year. And just to kind of speak to what Councilor Dedevitis had just mentioned, we do have an initiative as part of our Earth Day, and you can look it up on our website under Earth Day. But we're looking for community members to kind of participate and host their own cleanup in their community. So for anyone that does want to do a cleanup in their community, they can email me directly. We'll work with them to kind of identify an area for the cleanup. Then staff will provide them with garbage bags as well as gloves that can be collected at the Earth Day event. And then afterwards, once the cleanup's done, staff will come pick up all the garbage. So that is a great way for the community to get involved. Not everyone obviously might be able to make it out to the event, but if they want to host their own cleanup within their local neighborhood or area, it's a great way to get involved.
Thank you, Jacob. David, do you have anything for roundtable?
I suppose a question, if I may, to staff. I'm just hoping someone jogs my memory, but I utterly love the new dog park. I've got 2 doggy dogs at home here, and we enjoy going there. But obviously it was created pretty late in the season, which didn't allow for. But basically, you really get a sunburn out there. And did we end up having plans to add shade somehow, whether that was planting more trees or building some sort of structure or something? Is there something planned there?
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. It's always planned to add something. It's a budgetary item, and
did it make it through?
It did not, unfortunately. So, yeah. But you know what? That's not to say that we can't scrape together some funds. We have some great donators in the community, and we can reach out to them and see if something of that would be of interest to them.
Well, all good things in time. It's just such a successful, I think, addition to the city of Thorold and our offerings. I'm just wondrous. I mean, I'm really happy with it. And I'm not alone in the community in saying that. I know it.
Through you, Madam Chair. Glad you and David, Mr. Cribbs, and glad you enjoy it. And keep attending it, and we're going to keep working hard towards achieving some sort of a shade structure there for the users, for the community.
Thank you, David. Megan, do you have anything?
Not from me, thank you.
Perfect. Sean, sorry to put you on the spot. Do you have anything for Roundtable?
Sure, not a question or anything, just a comment rather, but I think since the last meeting I had attended in October, the parking lot at Gil Gordon Park in Rolling Meadows has come along a long way. It was constructed quickly, it looks great. Just saying, I'm looking forward to, taking pressure off the on-street parking, and hopefully some people can get some exposure to the playground there and enjoy the community.
Thank you. Joe, do you have anything for Roundtable?
One quickie item and a request. Talks are ongoing with the NPCA, amongst others, including city staff, towards the end of having some sort of a park-type designation put on the Lake Gibson corridor. What that designation may end up being, Echo Park or something else, it's still in the midst of talks. My request is, if such a thing exists, I'd like to see a map of Thorold with the actual parks on it, showing what's active, what's not active, what's proposed, and what's actively being built. I would imagine that there's lists like that. I mean, I could make my own map if I had an actual list like that. It's as much for curiosity as anything else, quite frankly.
Justin?
So through you, I know our website does list all the parks, or the active parks. As to a map, I'm not sure if our GIS has something laid out. I'm not sure if Dave knows or not.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. I believe we have something in our office. Joe, if you'd like to come by and at your earliest convenience, maybe we can sit down and I can share with you what I have and see if that's what you're looking for to sort of mainstream it before we start, sending out a bunch of things that may not interest you or interest this group here. So by all means, you're more than welcome to come by the Municipal Operations Center, Joe, at your earliest convenience. And
excellent. I'll probably be seeing you on Friday anyway. Not
right.
that I need it for then.
Unfortunately, the PIC is at City Hall, and so yeah.
Okay, I was being a little bit facetious with that. I did not really expect anything that quick. Sorry.
Well, thank you.
Rich, do you have anything?
No, nothing for me, thanks.
Peter?
Just a couple of things that have come to mind throughout this, and so through you, Chair, to whoever can opine on it. I was curious, do we have any reciprocal agreements with other local bordering municipalities on sharing parks and service, and infrastructure?
Through you, Madam Chair. Currently, at the time, we have no agreements for shared services.
There's just lots of dialogue in the community recently around sharing municipalities and things like that, and I'm just wondering if that and perhaps that's something, Dave, that might be an interesting avenue up for us to look at. And then additionally, in terms of the parks, what's our agreement with either school board? Are we able to talk to the school boards for use of their parks? Is that something the city gets involved in at all? And some of the there's lots of tracks around and things like that. Do we participate with the school boards in any way on their parks or their facilities?
Through you, Madam Chair. There's no known track parks around, in Thorold that I'm aware of, other than our Canada Park. Shared usage at in Fawn Hill or St. Catharines or Niagara Falls all come with a fee. So Unfortunately, even I know historically we've shared Holy Rosary's soccer field at some time, and back then, well before my time, there was no cost associated with it. So currently, we don't use other municipalities' amenities. Our private user groups like minor baseball, minor soccer, they may have some shared opportunities of that, but as far as the city goes, no.
And what about the school boards, Dave? Do we have anything with the school boards?
Currently, nothing in place with the school boards either.
Okay, thanks.
Kieran, you have something, and I think you have something for Joe also.
Yeah, Joe, if Dave can get you a list of all the parks, Google Earth, write them in, create a pin, and you have your map. So if Dave could share a list of all the parks that are currently being either in development or are already there, you can just go into Google Earth, type in the address, and put a pin in it, and then you would have your map done. Just a thought. My one question through you to city staff is, I know it's behind us now, but what is with James White Arena? Just curious, because we kind of it got abandoned, and I mean, obviously there's nothing going on there, but what's the plan?
Through you, Madam Chair, we did in 2021, we budgeted for a facility reuse strategy for James White, and at the moment, it's left in council's hands to determine the future of James White.
Okay. All right, Ken's telling me there hasn't been a report, so I'm assuming that would be left for the next council and the next committees. Okay.
Just on that point, I see Councilor Dedivitis. Do you have something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know, I'm just.
Oh, not on that topic. I have something to say on another
Okay,
topic.
we'll come back after.
Yeah, no, that's it for me.
Councilor Sentence, you have something?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to Peter, just a couple of things that we are in consultation with is this trail, the rail trail is with Pelham. They have theirs. We're going to meet up. So we are in consultation with them and the farmers and everybody that touch Pelham and Thorold. So there is that, and the Lake Gibson corridor is going to involve a bunch of cities because it touches. So we're all going to have to come to some type of agreement as to how we want it to be. It won't just be Thorold, it'll be a group. So there's a couple of things before all this other stuff started that we have to have. And then one comment, Jeff and Cheryl left. So Jeff, I know this is going to be next council, whoever's around, because it'll be the next family day, but Jacob, I think we got to find a way to incorporate Family Day. I know we've tried it. It didn't work out, but anybody who went down near the Moose and Goose on Family Day, there was 1,000 people. Like, if somebody would have told me there was 1,000 people there, I would have said, well, you're exaggerating. I went down. You couldn't get in. Kudos to you, Mike. No parking anywhere. There is an appetite for a Family Day event. So we really got to revisit that next. And kudos to you, Jeff and Cheryl, that initiated it. We couldn't get it done this year, but we have to look at having something in conjunction with the Moose and Goose, the arena, something, because it was nuts. So there's an appetite out there. Thank you.
Back to you, Councilor Dedivitis. You wanted to speak again?
Yes, I wanted to mention about shared services at shared fields. Thorold High, we're still have that committee going, and hopefully we'll work out a deal with Thorold High, because I personally, and I know Ken personally too, wants to get that something happening in Thorold High with a field. And if they do put that in, I know the school board will let the community use it also, so it's not done yet. And we're hoping to have some more discussions with them in the future, and it's a very important piece of our community. And I want to say one more thing, that dog park, and David's right, I just love that dog park. Frankie loves it. And if we wanted to copy some shade areas, Pelham has a really good concept there where they have the little gazebo there and they cement their picnic table in so you can't move it. Because I frequent a lot of dog parks and they really hit a home run there. And that's one thing we should look at. Thank you.
Perfect. Does anyone else have anything else? Of course.
One last thing, through you to Dave. I know you mentioned it was part of the budget with the turf field at Rolling Meadows. Are we still on the schedule for fall of 2026?
Through you, Madam Chair, I'm forecasting that we could be on target for fall of 2026 for the turf portion of the sportsplex. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Oh, is that why? So our next meeting will be on January. No, we'll not. That's not right.
Yeah, hold on. I put the wrong date in there, I guess.
You did.
It's April 13th.
Perfect. And if there's no further meeting, any further business, I'm adjourning this meeting at 8:10.